Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Xunantunich. Only a couple minutes away from the Socots village in the Cayo district and right on the edge of the Belize-Guatemala border, we're exploring an ancient Maya civilization with the second tallest building in all of Belize, and we're going to take you guys on the journey with us. So let's go. This week we had the honor of exploring the ancient archaeological site located in western Belize and only a 2-minute ferry ride across the Mopan River. We also had the honor of having Dr. Jaime Awe join us to talk about his archaeological journey, the importance of conservation, and some of the work that he's done over the years at Xunantunich.
I first started to do archaeology in 1976. I remember joining what was called the Department of Archaeology. At the time, Joseph Palacio was the Commissioner of Archaeology, and I became his assistant, and we were a two-person Department of Archaeology. I have not done anything else but archaeology as a profession. This year, we're celebrating the centennial of archaeological work at Xunantunich. During those 100 years, a lot of archaeologists have worked at the site. Initially, they were all foreigners, many of them from the United Kingdom, and then eventually several North Americans. And I started my first project at Xunantunich in 2000. And that project was called the Tourism Development Project. It was a big countrywide project where we did a lot of excavation and conservation at obviously Xunantunich, Cahalpech, Caracol, Lamanai, Altunha, Lubanton. And I remember, thinking back then that there was so much more potential at Xunantunich. I was able to get some grant money in 2015. And we started a new project called the Xunantunich Archaeology and Conservation Project. And the purpose was to continue enhancing the site for its tourism value. And, I still remember many of the buildings that we see today covered in trees, and dirt. And gradually, through the excavation process, revealing what the building looked like, and then conserving it. I have pictures showing, our excavations exposing the stairs, exposing sections of the building, and then conserving it. We've done that process anywhere you go at Xunantunich. So within the last 23 years, I think the amount of work we've done transformed Xunantunich and contributing to making it one of the primary tourist destinations in the country. And I like to remind people that, when we think of tourism, most people think international or foreign visitors. For me, it also includes our own Belizeans. Certainly a labor of love, being able to change the site. But I have some great people that work with me. What we know is that up on this hill, there were people living as early as about 1000 BC. But it was a small village, right? Nothing big, nothing important, just like any small village in rural Belize today. And it remained like that for a long time, which is in itself very interesting, because during that time, we have sites like Cahalpech growing, getting bigger, more status. Xunantunich comes into that scene, if you want, very late. In fact, around the 7th century AD. We know that some folks around here decide we need to make a new capital along the banks of the Mopan River. And they choose to do it right here at Xunantunich. Well, when they make that decision, they look at all the other old sites. It's like when we built Mopan, right? If you want a good example. Belize City's been around for a long time. And what does Belize City have? It has big government buildings. it has residential areas. So when they went to build Belmopan, we needed government buildings and residences for people to live. So the same thing, if you can take that now from the perspective of archaeology and think about Xunantunich. So in the 7th century, some folks decided we need to, establish a capital here. And they come in and they go, well, guess what? Calpech on the east side of the plaza has 3 big pyramids. We need one of them. So bam, they build that. We need, the royal palace, because that's what the Castillo is, right? For the rulers, and it has to be way up high. And in, just 2 construction phases, they build this huge building. They have to have ball courts, because everybody else, every important city, has their ball court. It's like, today, all the big important cities in America have their big football stadium or baseball stadium. We need those too. So they build, we have 2 ball courts. And so Xunantunich is developed really fast, like a new city, like Belmopan. And then when that happens, neighbors start to pay attention. And especially big sites in Petén in Guatemala. We know the site Naranjo, big mega site, decides they want to try to control the Belize River Valley. Why? Well, back then they didn't have highways like we have today. They had roads, and road systems, but the major highway linking the interior with the coast was the Belize River. And whoever can control the Belize River controls the trade route. So we see sites like Naranjo come in and say they want to take control, or they want to develop an alliance with Xunantunich so that they can have a say, or at least access to goods like salt or shells or jade coming up the Belize River, and also cacao, because the Belize River, one of the bread baskets of the time. And so we see other sites starting relationships, political relationships with Xunantunich. And the folks here were smart. They knew how to play the game. And so they developed this alliance with these other bigger cities to ensure that they would survive and that they would continue to grow. Unfortunately, by the time we get to about 800, 900 AD, most of the Maya world, especially in this area, are starting to hurt. And we see some of them start to decline, and many of them are eventually abandoned. Xunantunich tries to cling on, but by about 900, 950 AD, things are really bad, and gradually people start to leave here too. Often there are lots of places that you could apply to get money to do research, and really hard to get money to conserve the buildings. I've been fortunate that most of the funding that I get is from a private foundation called the Tilden Family Foundation. And Doug Tilden, who is the head of that foundation, he has provided so much funding for the work that I've done at Calpech and now at Xunantunich. It's through the funding from that family that I have been able to combine some archaeology with conservation. The buildings you see right across there, right? At one time, those buildings used to look like this. And then because I have money from that foundation to do the conservation work, I can then plan ahead. Guess what? I excavate this building, but I know we could preserve it so that visitors could come and enjoy it. This is, part of our history. And by doing the work that we're doing at places like Xunantunich or Calpech or whichever site, it means that young Belizeans could come and learn about our past. That if our ancestors could achieve this, we could achieve as well.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. A special thank you to Dr. Jaime Awe for sharing a lot of information that he knows about his archaeological endeavors here at Xunantunich. And if you're ever in the district, be sure to come and check it out. Deuces.